Hey guys, welcome back to Living Gratefully. Today I'm going to make a batch of chocolate chip cookies and I just wanted to go ahead and share my little trick with you. I've shared it before on a video, but it's kind of embedded in a get ready with me for Bible study video. And so just in case you missed it, here's another chance, and I go into a little bit more detail, but I'm telling you, it's so simple. It's going to be a quick video. It's just really easy, but it's guaranteed to give you lots of compliments wherever you take these cookies. We're getting ready to go to a cookout. I haven't even really gotten dressed yet. Sorry for the wrinkled shirt. I'm just lounging around, but I did want to go ahead and throw these cookies in the oven, let them cool, and then I'll pack them up, and I'm making a big batch to take to the birthday cookout, but then I'm going to make a little plate for the guy who is celebrating his birthday, and he can share it with his family later after everyone leaves. Okay, let's get started. So you'll see this is the easiest thing ever, and I make 3 packs of cookies for this party, and by the end you'll really get a good idea of my tricks. You'll also see that it doesn't matter what they look like, they just taste good, and that's all that matters. You may have seen me and my niece Jaitlin eating cookie dough when we were baking in our 50s video. If you haven't seen that video, I'll have it linked below in the description box. But when I'm making cookies for the family, yes, I definitely eat the dough and I enjoy it. Those chocolate chunks in these Nestle chocolate lover cookies are so good. But when I'm making cookies for a party or for anyone outside the family, I do have to control myself. Okay, this is the trick to make these so good. It makes me so happy to share this trick with you all. All I do is take a few of the cookies and break them up and put pieces on top of the other cookies. It's about 1/4 of a cookie that goes on top of each cookie, but it doesn't have to be exact. And you push down a little, but that's it. When you break them out of the package, inevitably there's a few small squares and then a few bigger squares. I end up putting a little more than 1/4 of a chunk on top of the small squares and a little less on the big ones, but it really doesn't matter. You'll see in this batch, I actually had one loner that I just missed. I just didn't see it, so it went in without any topper, but it's okay, they're still good. In my oven, they bake for 11 minutes exactly, and that's it. You pull them out and they continue cooking on the sheet as they cool. My oven is old, but I absolutely love my oven and don't want to change it. Even though it has that weird stain on the door when you open it, it doesn't matter to me. I'm keeping it until it breaks. But anyway, you have to see what your oven does, but I show you what it looks like when I pull them out after 11 minutes so you can gauge what your oven does by that. I don't like to do multiple batches at a time, like 2 cookie sheets in the oven, because I don't want to mess up my fail-proof method. You know how one side of the oven cooks hotter, or if you use both racks, the ones on the bottom cook faster. I'm not messing with that. I just take my time and know that they will turn out perfect every single time. And you'll see that I have to pull some cookies from the 3rd pack to add toppers to this batch. This shot shows how they're kind of tall, which is part of why they're so good. The middle is kind of thick when they're cooked, and they are just yummy. It also shows that they're not perfect, which also makes them yummy in my opinion. Okay, 11 minutes is up and the first batch comes out to cool and the next batch is going in. They'll continue cooking as they cool on the sheet, and later in the video you'll see a time lapse of how they go from puffy like this to more flat. You can use other cookies like Pillsbury or even the Kroger brand, but these Nestle chocolate lovers are my favorite, and this system works every single time, so I just don't mess with it. If Scott's going to the store and I need him to get some for me, I always say, get some of my cookies, and he knows exactly which ones to get. I was playing the draft Southport video for Scott here. That'll be linked in the description box as well if you haven't seen it. And look at this baby. He loves anywhere soft with a soft, cozy blanket. Speaking of cozy, my friend Jessica O'Donohue is getting me excited for fall. I follow her on Instagram and she's talking all the fall vibes and fall decor. And of course, it's already out in the stores. And I want to know if y'all are ready. At first I wasn't, but now I'm starting to be. Let me know in the comments. Nana, Scott's mom, really likes nuts, so when I make a batch for her, I like to take pecans and walnuts, mix them together and chop them, then squish these little mounds into the nuts. We like a combination of both nuts, but you could do one or the other. And when I take the platter to a cookout or a party, I just do plain because a lot of kids don't like nuts. Okay guys, that's it for today's video. I really hope that you loved it and it gave you some inspiration to make some of these most desired chocolate chip cookies ever. And I hope you get lots of compliments from whoever you make them for. I know for sure that you will. If you stayed with me till the end here, I would love it if you would comment a cookie emoji and hit that like button. And I hope you all have a blessed day and we'll see you next time. Bye!